Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
You don't trust the police.
Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 26, 2022, and it is We Need to Know Wednesdays. Welcome to the Java Cafe. I'm on my second cup of Java, so you might sense a little bit of extra energy this morning. But good morning again to everybody. Let's go in the Java Cafe. I'm solo today. I like these days because I can be in the room with you all and not have to focus on, y'all notice, I'm a symmetrical type of guy, so I like my stuff even on both sides. And this darn camera, I'm aggravated. All right, I think, you know what? Hold on. All right. Look, this is what it is. Good morning, everybody. Again, let's go in the room. Mama Java, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Daryl Drumright, good morning from Tennessee. Good to see you in the room. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you. Sister Debbie, I might need to talk to you because I have something going on with the community choir. And if we're not able to get the robes for this event, we might need to wear all black and get some kente cloth stoles made. And so I was talking about you with the Embrace Boston folks the other day. So just giving you a heads up. Hopefully we can get the robes, but just keep us in mind around sometime in December before you take your Christmas break. All right. Pastor Marion, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Opal, good morning to you. Thank you for being so supportive and always sharing. There she is, Opal. Stan, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you last Saturday at the Dropout event. That was definitely dope. Rena, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. All right, there we go. Headphones were acting up. Rena, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Also, let me get this together here. Also, who else is here? Charlotte, good morning. Good to see. I was at your church yesterday. Good to see you in the room. I'll talk a little bit about that later. Kelly, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Dina, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I'm actually going to read your comments because the issue going on with, he who made the Yeezy footwear. I'm watching us as a community and as a people, and I just find some of our postures very interesting. Sharon Cornelius, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Stacy, good morning. How are you feeling? Hopefully you're doing better. Props, good morning. You got 3 seconds. Good to see you in the room, brother. Thaddeus, good morning. Good to see you. We'll talk about that later. Props. Sharon is saying good morning to Props. I thought I seen his name on his way out. Good to see you stopping in for a couple of seconds, brother. Yay is right. And so I've seen that opinion as well. But I'm not really going to talk so much about him. I think that watching him over the past few years really and watching some of the comments when I just put up the post yesterday, I was very intentional about, because Thaddeus asked me, he was like, why was it even worthy of a post? And I was intentional because I was seeing some of the chatter online. And so I just put it out there and oh my. And so let's see how we're going to do this today. So let's go to Thaddeus's question. That is or comment. Good morning. When is the question? When did you become a bouncer? So yesterday, I had the honor and privilege of interviewing Senator Elizabeth Warren and also Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. I will say to you all, out of all the legacy media outlets, big major media outlets that were there, guess who got the only one-on-one sit-down interview with them? We did. And so I encourage you to go to the Java with Jimmy page and watch the information they shared, watch and learn about the racial equity, gender equity in making sure that you fill out the information at studentaid.gov. Let me put that here because that was the whole purpose of going yesterday. Studentaid.gov. You need to go become a student again. So we did that yesterday. We covered the event and the interview. And so Senator Warren and Congresswoman Pressley came in and they did the introductions. Madam President Tanisha Sullivan was there. Madam President Nicole Olby of Beckman was there. And Madam President of the Empath, I think, project, Kim Janey, the agency where she's the ED now. So there were 3 black female presidents up there with Senator Warren and also Congresswoman Pressley. And so Senator Warren starts talking, sharing information with a concentration specifically on black and brown folks to talk about why it's important to fill out and go to studentaid.gov to fill out the debt cancellation information. Though we know that one of the appellate courts has put a stop on it. The website, if you go there, says still fill it out and they're still reviewing them. And so Senator Warren starts talking. And all of a sudden, I hear this nuclear war, blah, 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 blah. And I will be honest, I have not been at an event with Mayor Wu to where these protesters and the incident at City Hall and City Council where a black man put his hands on a black woman. And so I've been feeling some sort of way about observing these things. And so I'll own the fact that when my brain realized that there was somebody there to heckle on nuclear war that had nothing to do with debt cancellation, I'll also own the fact. I love Senator Warren. She had a couple of interesting things to say to me offline yesterday. Complimentary, but her delivery was very interesting. And so I love her, but y'all know AP and I call her my big younger sister, just because of the caliber of person she is and just doing so many great things on a national level and blah, blah, blah. So I call her my big little sister. And so while Senator Warren was talking, I looked and I seen Ayanna's face, Congresswoman Pressley's face. And all I remember is going, And I went over and stood in front of him. And he was about 6'6", thick dude, probably about 320 pounds. And he kept talking. And I said, sir, listen, not this, not now. Do you not understand? You're a black man. He was a little bit lighter than me, but he was a black man. Presumed ethnicity and race. And I said, sir, they're trying to get this information out around an issue that really is a issue for us. And he said something about, I know, but nuclear war, something. And he became very confrontational. Nico Mendoza, an old Menino alumni that I know, she works for Senator Warren now. Her little wonderful self came over and was trying to move him. Involuntarily so, I found myself trying to help her and kind of motion for her to, excuse me, Nico. And we removed him, took him to the elevator so he can have a conversation with the senator staff away from this press conference. Former Mayor Janey came, redirected the press and said, hey, this is where the attention needs to go. And so I saw a couple of things online and under the picture, and Ashley Rose was like, thank you for covering this. And thank you. She didn't say bouncer. And so that's the reference that Thaddeus was making about, being a bouncer. And I'll be honest, someone said to me, how are you the media and you're stifling people? It wasn't the point of stifling someone. It was the fact that you don't know what these people would have done. And again, love Senator Warren, but AP was up there. And so not happening while I'm in the room. It's not a thing of silencing. You're not going to disrespect that queen like that. And so, yeah, sorry. The other thing that I wanted to talk about this morning is, again, I put that post up in reference to what Props was saying, that Ye was right. And so I'm watching some of the comments on the post, and it's a variation of comments. And so let me share a couple with you to really highlight why I say that in this observation of what's going on with him, it speaks to a larger macro issue that we need to talk about as Black folks around culture, Black economics, the Black dollar, mental health. I seen another post about him and his children and fatherhood. That's a topic that's coming up as well in this conversation about what Mr. West said and is, walking away or being released from some of his contracts. And so let me share some of the comments with you all from, all right, there we go. So as I said to Dina, I was going to read her comment because there's a lot of sentiment shared around her comment. And so what she said was, Dina from Roxbury, it's never okay for the Black man to invoke his First Amendment right, but perfectly fine for the white man. I do not agree with any hate speech towards a specific group or race. With that being said, it was okay for Trump not only to say it, but invoke violence, but not for Kanye to say what he said. FOH. For the mothers that don't know what FOH means, God bless you. And there were some responses to there. I said to her, it was so layered. Quincy Roberts from Dorchester said, but they're still using the man's name to sell shoes. So did they really drop him? Thaddeus asked me, why is that worthy of you posting? Another comment that I saw that was so interesting to me, and let me get it up here. A young man by the name of Donnell Carter. Ye spoke his mind as anybody should, but don't expect it to be received well by all who have equal rights to speak theirs and express it. Many didn't receive or agree with him. In fact, were offended by his statements, including those who has business relationships with him and decided to sever those ties. Kanye has essentially spit in the face of Black folks and our ancestors, but many forgave him and doubled down on the purchasing of his products. Ye has adopted many neo-Nazi talking points and is basically suffering from the consequences of that. His treatment is no different from others who've expressed bigoted viewpoints. Just look at Mel Gibson, the owners of the Washington Redskins, Phoenix Suns, and Kelly Loeffler, who own the Atlanta Dreams. People are getting canceled, fired left and right. I don't feel sorry for him. He made a lot of money off those attempting to expose, he is attempting to expose, excuse me. He's been bugging for years without any consequences. They've had enough. In other news, I was successful at peeling my hard-boiled egg this morning. And so, that's just a couple of the opinions. There are a lot. And so what I've seen as far as opinions are, the fact that these big corporations that are largely led by white men, getting with this Black sort of musical icon, coming up with different brands and making money. Some of the language has included making money off of him. To Donnell's point, that some of the chatter I've seen online as well is that when he said that we wanted to be enslaved, and, a lot of people in the Black community, when they seen him standing with Trump, automatically started writing him off. And so away from him, there are some issues that we as a community need to go and sit in front of Jesus, come to Jesus, and have a real conversation. Where do we spend our money? Who do we support with our money? How do we spend our money? Another piece in vein of this, mental health. It's been quoted, and he said in media, per what I've seen on the media, that he does not take medication prescribed to him to deal with his mental health issues. Haven't examined him, aren't able to. I'm not a clinician, but I believe there's concrete evidence that this black man has some mental health issues. And so he's just a microcosm, though on big display, of a lot that ails us. And so there's the mental health piece. I'm seeing a meme this morning where it basically said that no matter what she says about the father, the kid's love never lies. And it was a picture of Kim on the left and three or four of Kanye's kids on the right, smiling and looking wonderful. And so there was a couple of messages in that meme or comments under there. So I didn't get the whole context of why the meme or what the original meme was. But fatherhood is a part of this. And then the other piece that comes up is, and I have not perfected this. As a matter of fact, I have failed, in some cases, maybe failing, because y'all know there's a couple of preachers in the city that and may fail in how we regard our own when we are displeased with them. Again, have fallen flat on my face in this space, not handled things right, been rude, cussed, inhospitable, and whatnot. I will say I have not attacked character. I just need to put that out there for those that want to attack mine because they don't agree with some things I'm saying and doing. Sorry, just a little extra piece there. That's part of the conversation. And that's a part of the chatter that's been online. Whether it's Kanye, the family member that we don't associate with because maybe a substance abuse history, maybe they stole in the past. And I get protecting our peace. I get, kind of zero tolerance for anybody that's going to do anything that is going to hurt us as individuals or as a community. I get it. But y'all remember one of the foundational things of this platform is love. And so our fellow love for humanity might want to make us take a step back before we react and figure out, and this is across the board, and I'll get to the violence prevention stuff in a minute. I see Kenya Beeman on from the Carnival Association. So I have an update for you about that because November 1st is approaching, and she's been proactively updating. And so on so many levels, we as a people have to take advantage of this. There's a changing in the tide. Locally here, I sense it around violence. In this country, with this, conversation going on now and other things post George Floyd. What my concern is that we don't get distracted, but we stay focused and we vote. You go to PTA meetings, you go to community meetings about these darn white cones in the street and lanes being taken. It's almost impossible to drive and park in Boston now. And I've been thinking about this. Do you feel that there's equity in this new move toward bike riding all the time? I want to talk about that one day too. And so we as a people, so I'm in there. All 5 fingers are on my chest. I'm not pointing. We as a people have to be wise, calculated, strategic, long-term oriented with measurable outcomes. saving money, you see your account grow. Black voter participation, you see people that share our values get elected. We got to figure it out because a few things are happening. We got the midterm election coming. We have this supposedly ensuing recession. They say unemployment's going to go up. Holidays are coming. Some people, this for them, this is the first Christmas on two veins: violence and also COVID, and then just other, causes of death. And so it behooves us to think about our Black economics, and I'm going to get to the comments in a minute. Our Black economics and the Black dollar and our mental health. Those are two things that and of course, civic engagement and voting. Those are some major things we need to talk about. Let's go in and check the comments and see what the response is. Pastor Marion says, I've been praying for Mr. West since his mom passed. He has not been mentally stable. He needs mental health help. Stan says, Powernomics. Absolutely. Lasagna said, why did I have to look up? We want you to stay here, Lasagna. Auntie Java says he is bipolar, schizophrenic, and refuses to take his meds. Sadly, these people with mental health issues can be very smart, but the dark side can be deadly. And I speak from close experience. It's only when it's Jewish people, not white, but Jewish. It's a difference. Stan, that's a part of the conversation as well. And a lot of, it's so interesting, us as a Black people, because a lot of us, the first thing that we say and maybe really feel it, or in some cases condition or feel obligated to say, is other marginal. We understand that being marginalized and being discriminated against just because of our skin color. In that particular case with the Jewish people, it's because of their religion. And so, that's a conversation. And I also need you to know that there are associations and groups out there that attempt to bring Black people and Jewish folks together for these type of conversations. And so I'm not going to get too deep into that. Where my focus is about us and how we rebuild the village. How do we take Tulsa, Oklahoma, and replicate that now in other cities? How do we understand, Tanisha said it so good yesterday. I can't remember all of it, but the first one was, here it goes. Protest, policy, practice, impact. How do we influence that? Dina said a few facts. Kanye was trying to get out of the Adidas contract for weeks before this happened. Kanye has some mental illness. Kanye is a genius. Kanye been going down a rabbit hole since Taylor Swift incident. Now I don't really care about Kanye's style, and personally, I don't like the clothing, but my issue is the difference in the world with Black and white. Till this day, I feel I'm boiling over with frustration and anger. And so, Dina, that is all of that in there, the facts piece, and then ending with how she feels and responds to it. That's the sentiment for a lot of people on two veins. Well, that's four. On two veins. One is anger boiling over at Kanye. The other is anger boiling over for Kanye. Some people don't like how we as Black people are treating him. And also, in addition to that, how these big corporations and entities are treating him as a Black man because he spoke his mind. Then there's this other thing out here, and I keep slipping back into Kanye. I want to stay on a bigger issue, and I'll stop with Kanye right here. The other issue that I'm seeing online, and again, this is, it's the age of social media, but it's also a little bit of pop culture. So I got to, in this space, got to at least be a little bit up to date. Is that he wanted to get out of these contracts without paying penalties. And so, as Dina said in here, one of the points she made was that Kanye is a genius. I've seen reference to that he did what he needed to. Who is it? Asia, Java family member, said Kanye did everything but poo on Mother Teresa's statue to get out of these contracts. So that's another sentiment out there as well. Y'all don't let me forget to go back to Kenya's update about the carnival and application and the meeting and the committee and all that other stuff. Thaddeus says, will black folks get rid of the shoes they paid 500 to 500? I struggle when I saw those a special pair of red Adidas. I think they were about 140, 145. When I become a millionaire, I don't think I'm ever going to pay more than $300. Woof. While black folks get rid of it, will black folks get rid of the shoes they paid $500 to $5,000 for? Nope. Going to wait it out until he comes back. And Thaddeus, there's a population of what you just spoke. But when you refuse counsel and help and believe you can do it alone, like you're invincible, then people will leave you alone. And that's a large sentiment of a lot of some of the chatter I've seen on social media. Dina's been saying, I've been searching online for black designers to purchase from instead of these big chains. I'm not making these companies richer. If you know any directories, not just in Boston, where we can find black designers for clothing, bags, shoes, Dina, I would suggest that you go to Black Dollar USA on Instagram. I think Black Dollar is on Facebook. Dina, right below your comment here is a company, good brother, opinionated brother. He got up this morning sharing some of his feelings. Y'all mess me up. I think it's Brother Donnie. Lord, don't get me in trouble. Thaddeus Miles, top of the morning. Black folks still wearing Gucci after the blackface stunt. Black folks still wearing Polo and Hilfiger after being told they are not wanted in it. I'm keeping all five of your Yeezys. Yo, can I get $2,500, bro? This is a designer right here, Dina. Has some good quality stuff, hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Y'all go to his page and check out Boston Street Union. Has an inventory, has some messaging on his materials as well. And so, brother, put your website, please. I think I'm featured on his website. Put your website in the comments, bro, so I can show it. And folks can hyperlink, the hyperlink, they can click it in the comments after the show, during the show. Y'all don't go shopping on his page until, about 9:45. Dina says, too many unnecessary bike lanes in Boston. Traffic is horrific. Takes like 30 minutes to get from Dorchester to Roxbury. All right. So I guess we're switching over, per the comments, we're switching over to the traffic and our involvement, because I use the example of being civically engaged. I'll end the segment here about our need as a community to address our mental health, to be wise in spending our money, to understand the power of the black dollar, and to also, here it comes, love and grace toward ourselves and toward one another, even these celebrities. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. Kanye, Sharon says that West said it was drugs. Dina is saying Boston Street Union, I have expensive and things white people have because black people were not allowed to have anything, not even their own freedom. Wow. Stan says our entities are either owned by others or get infiltrated and destructed. I remember some months ago, and I don't want to lie, but for example, a company like Shea Moisture, there was a company where a black woman made some wash for the ladies, sold it to a bigger company, and now they're saying that the formula changed and the black women don't want it no more. And so Stan's point is very valid. Listen, we live in a capitalist society. All of us have a little bit of capitalism in us. Now, for what we want capital and what we do with it when we get it, that is the question. Sadly, bikers don't realize they have to know the rules of the road just as if they were driving. The bike is their mode of transportation. Shake my head. They take too many risks. Kenny is saying, I'm confused that people didn't expect this to happen, going back to Kanye's issue. If folks claiming he's a genius, I'm sure folks knew. I think she's saying, I'm sure Kanye's folks knew that this was coming. Sister Leslie said, I have feezies. What in Jesus' name, Sister Leslie, is feezies? Okay, I'll wait to shop. Selena, good morning. Java Nation in the building. Good morning, Java Nation. Haven't connected in a while, but still a life fan. Absolutely. Said, yeah, all my life. She knew me before I was born. Pastor Marion is saying real stupid. I forgot what point I made. Good morning, Jimmy and Javis. Misha is the only one that called Jimmy Javis. Good morning, Misha. Stan, in reference to the carnival, let me just try to see how caught up I am with the excuse me. Y'all are y'all are hold on. All right, let me let it play itself out and stop trying to stifle it. That's why I'm keep coughing. So thank you all. Roxanne, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Sharon Cornelius and a couple of people knew what I was talking about. Carol's daughter sold the Revlon. Roxanne was talking about Honey Pot. That's the one where the feminine wash. Pastor Marion said bikers ride down the driveway. Selena is saying people don't use the bike lanes. They are riding on the sidewalks, especially on Columbia Road and Seaver Street in Boston. So it's interesting because there's one benefit to the bike lanes for those that use them based on this comment. When I go out of town and they don't have bike lanes and folks are riding their bike on the sidewalk, when I tell you the side eye I give them, and I got to remember, oh, we're not in Boston. I will say that if there's anything, at least when you're a pedestrian on the sidewalks, you don't have bikes on the sidewalk. So that is one thing. Misha, be nice. And I don't, well, I know the one word we stop, but Misha said, Kanye is crazy and his followers are crazier. Laugh out loud. I'm not a fan, but in my opinion, I do not think all he does is calculated. I just think some things happen. Misha, I just think some things happen to work out for him. There's a little shade in there, Misha. You are your brother's sister. I kind of had that idea, but I was just trying to figure out why you called them feezies. Like, Sister Leslie, I cannot mess with you. Misha is saying, what was that about bicyclists? So I'm just, Misha, you know, the bike lanes and stuff. Lanes are being decreased in the city. They're putting in bike lanes. And I used as an example that bigger than Mr. West, there are some bigger issues that come up: mental health, voting, civic engagement. And so I brought up I was shady. I said the little white poles in the street as an example of if we participated in those meetings, there would have had to been a compromise. Yes, to make traffic flow better. Yes, to consider climate change. But we probably would have pushed back about decreasing a good portion of American Legion Highway into one lane. Jennifer, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Sharon Cornelius is saying good morning to Misha. Kenya is saying, yep, they shouldn't. That's what the bike lanes are for, in reference to people riding their bikes on the sidewalk. Auntie Java is saying history. Einstein was a genius, but suffered from schizophrenia and kicked out of the kindergarten because he couldn't conform. Stan, let's have a Java with Jimmy night out. Java with Jimmy after dark is coming. I just got to get the location. Well, that's different. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Java with certain Java after darks, there ain't gonna be a special space for the mother's board. Or if we do it, and let's say it started 7:30, 8 o'clock, after the panel and all that other stuff, the mothers need to get home and rest. So we need to do a Java night out with everybody. Everybody come together, leave together. And then Java after dark is a little. Mother's board. We'll leave that right there. Misha said, well, good old Mayor Menino started the bike. Hey, watch it, Misha. I'm waiting for winter. It should be very interesting with snow plows and snow piles. So I know of course, over time, at this point, is the biggest implementation of these poles. I got to also say and be a little petty. It cracks me up when I ride down the street, and I don't know how they're doing it, but residents, either by accident or they done figured it out, some of these poles are disappearing. I don't know how they're getting them out of there, but all the poles that started out in the beginning, all of them aren't still there. So I don't know what folks are doing. Y'all better be careful though, because that's considered destruction of property, city property at that. Rena is saying, cuz Leslie, so what are you saying? Or where am I? I forgot. Oh, maybe you're talking about the where is she? Oh, here we go. That I just, I thought feezies could have been like the F was for something on purpose. Like, I don't know. Dina, I think having the cars parked next to the driving lane and have the bike lane next to the sidewalk is a hot mess. They are not used by everyone. They are not used by enough people in neighborhoods to be here. Downtown, I see the need, but not around Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan that I've seen. And it's been almost 2 years. They're not utilized everywhere that they are. Misha says there are many rules there are many rules that they are supposed to follow. They just don't. As a driver, I absolutely hate don't say the bicyclists. Misha, you woke up this morning. Thank you, Jesus. We'll just leave it at that. Stan is saying man cave Mondays, we need to vent like we used to. We do, man, but I need to have somebody's in there. Somebody in there on a clinical point, because yeah, that a lot of that stuff I absorbed, and it was just we didn't get off that Zoom and I just went to bed. Like everything that y'all talked about was with me for like hours. Donnie, fathers need rest too. Let's just say the parents. So Donnie, who I'm talking about, are the Mothers Board. That's a church. These are my sisters in here who are a little more seasoned than some of us. And so that's the reference. But fathers need rest too. Absolutely. And the bus driver, Misha, stop hating the people. Jen said, can we talk about the new black boots Kanye rocking? So I saw those. Nope. We gave him enough attention today, but I did see the boots. They bend when you drive over them. Oh, you talk about the white poles. Okay. Y'all know the comments a little bit delayed, so I'm playing catch up. I think, oh no, I don't. There's a whole bunch here. Auntie Java said, so we're going back to the white poles. Auntie Java said that cars are running them down. Sharon said cars knock them over. Oh, Sister Leslie, you saying you were asking my clarity about the mom. Yeah, y'all got to go home. Mom went out with me to the awards, and my intention was to send her home early. It didn't work out that way. I think I wound up dropping mom off, actually. But, it's just a respect thing. Because, After Dark does have a, grown folks tone, some libations and, Misha says, and some are very hard plastic that will damage your car, so they better be careful. Thaddeus said, I agree on the bike lane issue. Takes me 20 minutes to go 3. Listen, so the other day, I'm in traffic. Was I on my way to the award? No, I forgot where I was on my way. And I put a tweet up. I'm like, traffic in Boston is trash. About a half an hour later, the mayor hits me and says, how are you? Where are you? And I was like, by the exit at South Station. I got to the exit to the beginning of the ramp. When I tell y'all I lied not, I must have sat on that ramp for about 40 minutes. It was ridiculous. Come to find out, the mayor was like not too far behind me. And so, traffic up here is aggravating. Pastor Marion said, I meant to write bikers ride like they drive. Oh, and I seen one the other day taking a turn and didn't use the signal. And the car was sitting there like, Tashad is in the building. Misha says the placing of the bike lanes inside are actually safer. And I agree with they save lives when utilized. Tashad, good morning. Boston While Black in the building. If they want bike lanes to be implemented safely, they need to implement actual bike lanes with barriers and crosswalks the way they are in the Netherlands. Okay. Tamisha, dude, they suck. Wait, Misha. Wait, the ones that don't follow the rules. Yes. Tashad is saying the little white people ain't working. Tashad, you're going to get me in trouble. The little white poles aren't working. Oh, God, my face is red. Because my face got hot, so I know y'all can see it turning a little pink. Because Tashad, I'm sorry. Auntie Java is saying mother's board was young once. We really don't need to be hanging out after. That's right. Props. Atlanta has cement supporting the plastic poles to protect the barriers. I don't think they have the cement up here, props, but they did. It looks like they glued the surface thing that holds the pole, like that, whatever, permanent industrial glue. Because I remember a couple of years ago seeing them putting them down, and I'm like, what the heck? So I don't think they use the cement here. Donnie is saying Dina Marshall, I guess they're going to hook up. Leslie, people don't know how to merge, especially the merging. Now, let me tell y'all, when I first started driving again with these new merging lanes and whatnot, after driving in Boston since the age of 23, taking a break and going back, you get a pattern, but I say pattern just to be funny. You get a pattern and you get used to driving. Do y'all know how many accidents I almost got into because I'm thinking the lane was going to stay straight and I'm going my regular speed, and then boom, the lane begins to cut off and you got to merge, and the folks on the left side don't want to let you in, because I know sometimes I don't. And we got these people that know that the lanes are going to merge. They're in the wrong lane, and then they try to aggressively come in when they get to that point where the merger, where you can't merge anymore and you're actually in the lane. That's a whole nother Zoom in itself. Tamisha, yep, I'm awake this morning, drinking my Java and eating my ghetto lasagna. Laugh out loud, I'm ready, in my SpongeBob voice. Lord have mercy. Tashad, you need an actual little curb barrier between the car lane and the bike lane. To have, you have to build it in a way that it would be difficult for either vehicle to stray into the other lanes. Absolutely. Tashad, I'm reading your comments very slowly now so I don't mess up. Kenya is saying, y'all realize that the bike lanes are used by everyone, not only folks in the hood, right? I'm just saying, to think it's supposed to be for Mattapan, Dorchester, and Roxbury resident biker, it's not the case. The point is to provide alternative commuting methods to decrease vehicle traffic. And Kenya, that is the point. Climate change and decreasing gas emissions and all that other stuff. And California by 2035, there will be no more. They're not going to sell. The state of California, I believe, will not be allowed to sell cars that use gas. And Massachusetts probably not going to be too far behind. And so I get it. But it just, I'll hold some of my commentary for later around that notion of forcefully decreasing driving. I'll just say this. For a lot of black and brown folks that do have a car, some do use public transportation. That's all they use. But for folks that do have a car, that work two jobs, they got to pick up the kids, get them to after school and whatnot, MBTA ain't working for them. And so we at some point need to have a conversation about the equity in the point you raised, Kenya, or the impact on black and brown communities, not only with traffic and things like that, but for those that have cars and need them and utilize them, constraining them, I don't know, is helpful. Just my opinion. Props, James, Boston Public. Shut up. Proud graduate of Madison Park High School, class of 1990. Misha said, let's hang out. I'm fun. You a mess. Love you. I hate merging. Laugh out loud is so frustrating. Kenya, I think I'm almost at the last comment. I need to give you all an update about the Carnival Association. Get used to traffic, speeding, and triple-double parking, y'all. We love our cars, right? Listen, ever since I got one again and can go where I want, when I want, drop Mama Java water off and all of that, I do. Can y'all see me out on a bike? Riding in the bike lane with a backpack on, with my phone up. Talk about welcome to Java with Jimmy. Boom. Sharon Cornelius, if you tell out White Bike Memorial, they will move. If you tell out. Sharon, tell me what you meant there. All right. I think I am. No, I'm not. Dina, be cutie. My point is, I do not see them being used in the areas, not that they are only for people in the hood. Auntie Java is saying suddenly you run out of road and they try their own space on that road. I think I read that right. And they try to own space on that road. I got it now, Auntie. Tamisha, the problem is they are trying to turn Boston into a mini Somerville, Cambridge, and Medford, and so forth. Thaddeus, they are really prepping the community for another buying out the house in the. I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute. Okay. Ed Shoemaker is in the building. The 21 bus to Ashmont had them slam on the brakes and swerve this morning and sent people falling on the floor, avoided a collision by Morton and Galvin Boulevard. Traffic is very aggressive. Wow, that's not safe. Also, I heard about an accident. A car drove into a house around 600 Morton Street. So for those of you that are going out, I don't know if they fixed it, but the news reported that a lane on each side was closed, talking about closing lanes. All right. Prop said, hold up. Let's see what he's talking about. Don't let them secure your assets. All right. Kenya's replying to Thaddeus's point about prepping people for. Listen, there's another opportunity coming around for Black and brown people, people that are close to the poverty line, that are saving, getting their credit together and all of that. This housing thing is going to wind up working in our favor, but we need to be ready. That is, and props. I had a conversation with a real estate agent and broker on Saturday at the Dropout Summit event. Kind of told him where my status was. She was like, well, you're ready. Huh? So getting my ducks in a row for the business. I got to get the P&L and the cash on hand and all that other statement and stuff ready. But I am moving toward that. Thaddeus and props. When you see a white bike with flowers on tied to a pole, someone was hit. I thought that's what you were saying, Sharon. I wasn't sure. Atlanta is known for traffic. I have not. I haven't drove there since I've been there. Prop said, here we go. James, exactly. We must be ready. So that's one of the things that Props always talks about. And I'll say he can fuss me later. He got real emotional one day and he was like, yo, it's ownership. We don't own. We got to own. And it's real. That's what contributes to our wealth. That's how we get beyond the $8 that financial commission reported in 2015 that we're only worth $8. Our wealth is only worth $8 while a white person is 247,000 on average. What? So we contribute to our wealth through ownership, business ownership, housing ownership. All right, folks. Prop says New York City is taxing cars to ride through Manhattan. Dag. That's interesting. You can get up to $100,000 in down payments. I know Thaddeus. Trust and believe within all ethics. When it gets time, there's two people I'm calling to ensure that I have all the information. You know, you're one of them. And the city of Boston also has their little program as well. So I thought you was only 60,000. The city may be 60. You're 100,000? Uncle, we need to talk. Ed Shoemaker, I'm going to get ready to wrap up. Morton Street, yes, a truck came around the corner fast, hit the fence, rolled all the way, I'm presuming, through that home, took out the electrical box and front porch, destroyed cars and parking too. The driver lived, but the truck was pancaked. Dag. It did not take somebody else. I almost forgot I was on the show in conversing with you, Brother Daniel Antonio Alibert. Don't forget your one update I asked you, and I'm glad Props is on. The other day I asked you all to keep Props, Mr. Willie and Props' mom in prayer. And I texted her yesterday and she said that Mr. Willie was doing well. So thank you all that have been praying for Props and the family as well. Got a good report yesterday. So thank you all for that. I think that is it for me today because it's 9:53. Y'all do me a favor. Click that hyperlink after. Donnie, where's your link for your website? If I missed it, please put it back. Go click takethisright.com, which is props design. Lost Interactive is his newly launched corporate level. Uncle Thaddeus, you know somebody that needs some major design. I'm talking C-suite folks. Keep this brother in mind because he's dope. 50,000 new program. You can combine it with our other 50,000 program, limited amount of funds. So don't wait too long. So a total of 100,000. Okay. So city and okay. I thought you was 100 with mass housing. And I know the city had like, I thought it was 60, but it's 50. Oh, I'll be making that, QuickBooks and all this other stuff. Yes. All right. Ed, good to see you, brother. Dina, you have a good day as well. Folks, I'm getting ready to wrap up. Tomorrow morning, I showed a clip the other day of Brother Quincy Roberts' interview with him and Brother Gene, the curator for the Portraits of Pride pictures that were featured on Boston Common, also in the Seaport. And so it is ending, I believe, the end of this month, right before Halloween. And so one more thing I got to update y'all on. Right before Halloween. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., that's what we're sharing with you. The other thing, two other things I wanted to mention. Some of you may have seen in the media that there was a meeting yesterday. I was in the meeting, not as press or media, and I actually got a call. Are you coming? You know, you can't come as press. You got to come. So, but I will say, as a resident and a thought partner with the administration, that in some other convos before yesterday and yesterday, I'm discerning that there is a sentiment of sustainable addressing the root causes while addressing the immediacy and urgency of the violence. There is just a different sentiment in community with leadership, you know, in the city, folks that move in this space that have been, you know, the mayor made a comment yesterday that there was decades. And then she looked around, she said, there's probably centuries. If you add up the number of years of people that have been moving in this space, it was well diverse from law enforcement. Superintendent was there. Dr. Basola from the Health Commission was there. And really with some action steps. Shout out to Brother Will Dickerson Jr., who is the mayor's senior advisor for faith-based initiatives. Some of the city councilors were there. And Pastor Dickerson got up and said, you know, what are the takeaways? What are the actions? And so there's some things that I'm working with community on, liaising to the administration, and then trying to share some things with the administration. I only share that to let you know, because as someone that used to employ the notion, nobody cares and nobody's doing nothing, that's not a good consideration for our mental health individually and as a people. Please no one believe that there is a lot of stuff, and it's happened before, but there are a lot of conversations with action-driven, community-led, city-supported. These conversations are active right now, and folks aren't rushing to put something out just for the purpose of, like I used to say, we need a statement, we need to hear from y'all. No, there is a well-calculated, strategic approach being taken to this next iteration of public safety and youth violence and whatnot. And we're also looking how we support the community, but the community, the village, is going to have to look at itself. And so I just wanted to give that update there. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to get off of here. Thaddeus, if you're still on, can you put a number, a website to folks to get in touch with? I can look on the internet real quick, and I can add that link, I believe. Wow, they went up, down. Ah, here it go. Look at Jesus. First thing that came up. Hold on, Dina. This is a long comment. All right. There's the information for the mass housing partnership, I believe, with the city of Boston. If you took a home buyers class, Thaddeus, please clarify. I believe you've had to take a home buyers class, first-time home buyers class. But working with the city and mass housing, you can get up to $100,000 on your down payment. So if you're happy, if you're blessed enough to find a house in Boston, $750,000, $650,000, you're only going to owe $550,000. if you go into these programs. And so there goes Thaddeus. He got a shorter link. Mine's came up longer, but the link is in here twice. So go check that out, figure out how you do it. And make sure you have your ducks in a row, understand the process of pre-approval versus pre-qualification, things like that. I learned a little bit taking that class. All right, folks, that's it for me. Oh, the final thing is in reference to Carnival. Kenya texted me the other day. I'm going to chat with Ms. Shillingford, I believe today, and get sort of an update of where things are. There aren't any particular time dates yet because, again, I think they're also being strategic and thought out. And so they're not rushing around this application process to apply to be a board member of the Carnival Association that puts Boston's Carnival together. All right. And so somewhere the beginning of next month, we'll have them back on and share the information. I'm presuming the beginning of the month. And so that's just the update around Carnival that they have been proactively texting and updating and being very real about, timelines and whatnot. So I just wanted to make sure that you all are aware of that. All right. So 2 things to leave with. There is a lot of intentional, may seem slow to some folks, conversations that are looking at sustainable approaches to addressing the root causes of violence while addressing the issues of violence and trauma, but walking and chewing gum at the same time of the urgent, immediate things that need to be done, as well as what are the long-term things that can be community-led and city-supported. And so the last thing I'll say, two last things a few minutes ago, there is another call for the community to meet Jonathan Gates in prayer this Friday at 6:30 at Franklin Park. The city is actually, a lot of folks are coming to kind of be fortified and just come to prayer because there are some actions that folks are doing this weekend to be present in the community. It's Halloween weekend. We're going to believe that this is going to be a no incident Halloween weekend. We really pray and believe and hope. And after we pray, we're moving. Now, I'm going to be honest. Before getting involved at this level, I am going out of town and will not be around this weekend. So while I'm saying folks go to prayer and folks help and they look around and, oh, where's Jimmy? I let Dr. Falk, Mayor, Brother Jonathan Gates, Bishop Dickerson, and Lisa, the wife, let them know that I was not going to be around. But please consider going to prayer Friday. I believe Brother Rufus will be there, Dr. Falk. And just if you have an opportunity, go on the walks with them, be present. Also, if you know about alternative events where our young people can be on the inside, share those on the page, email them to me. Do not inbox me. Do not text me. info@javawithjimmy.com, email or email, because not even inbox on Facebook, because I'm realizing I'm missing a lot of stuff on there. If you have a flyer or know of an event, you can tag me on Facebook or send an email with the flyer and the information, and I'll do my best to get it up. That's it for me today. We will see you tomorrow. Well, y'all will see Brother Quincy tomorrow. Hold on. I gotta figure out what time I land, because I actually might do what I did before. Remember, last time I went, I think I went live from the airport. Let me just see what time this thing is supposed to land. I'm tired. Y'all don't wore me out today. I wore myself out. I hate that once you do your we might be here tomorrow at 9:00. I land at 7:53. Even if I don't get my baggage, I can pull over in a corner and hook up the Wi-Fi. And so we may be here at 9 tomorrow. All right. Either way, there will be something cast. Yesterday, I know was different. Didn't do anything at 9, went live at 10. But there will be something at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right. I'm out of here. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you for those that endured all the way until 10 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow morning, either me and Quincy or Quincy by himself. All right. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.